everyone. I'm your main man, William Bo Martin, once again, right here with the B-Lane Network. I'm here at the Fox Theater of Atlanta, Georgia, right here at Howard University Alumni Association of Atlanta's Charter Day, 145 years. We got some very special guests here tonight, some very special honorees. We're looking forward to hearing and seeing more about them, so stay tuned as we bring it to you. Have the pleasure of standing right here beside me, another Howard alum, former mayor of Atlanta, ambassador to the United States, Andrew Young. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. So, how do you feel tonight? You're here at Howard University's Alumni Charter Day, being honored tonight, and you've been honored many times before, but what makes this night special?
Well, because my father was a Howard alumni in 1921.
Okay.
And I finished in 51. I think I had a daughter that finished the engineering school about 81 or 82. And now I've got a niece who finished about 10 years ago.
Right.
And I got a granddaughter that's in the engineering school now. And so we've got 4 or 5 generations that have thrived on something about Howard University. Now, I don't know what it is.
Right.
And it wasn't the teachers, because I didn't do too well with the teachers.
Okay.
But I met people from Africa, from the Caribbean. I think my first, well, and then I was there in the 40s. Mm-hmm. When, well, say Dave Dinkins, right. Later mayor of New York, was just coming back from the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. So even though I was a kid, he was a man.
Right.
And it was the friends I made at Howard and the students themselves that ushered me into manhood. Mm-hmm. From being a wild kid from Louisiana.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, I have a lot of respect for what has happened at Howard. Great legacy.
We don't know what makes it happen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, so what? Kind of speak on that. What is it? What is it about Howard? The legacy, the Mecca, we call it the Mecca. What is it about the legacy of Howard that has been so enriched in us that just keeps us striving, keep the friendships, relationships going?
Well, one, I developed a sense of duty and responsibility toward the world and particularly our people, and. One of the reasons I identified Kasim as a potential mayor when he was a student at Howard was that I saw in him that concern for the less fortunate.
Right.
And where that comes from, whether we bring that there with us, because when I was there, everybody just seemed to want to get a Cadillac and be the first black folk to do anything.
Right, right.
See, and nobody seemed to care very much. In fact, it was the guilt over my spending so much money on a fraternity dance. I think the Omegas had Lionel Hampton, so we had to have Duke Ellington.
Okay.
And my assessment was $75. Wow. No, but back then you could go to, that was a month's living, right. 2 months.
Right.
And I think it was partially my rebellion against the black bourgeoisie that drove me into the ministry and made me want to come back down here and do something for somebody else.
I'd like to thank Mayor Young, Ambassador Young, our friend Andrew Young, a Howard alum, for being here today, and we look forward to you being honored. And great Howard alum and this legacy that we continue to carry. And right here with Mr. Hank Thomas. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Super fantastic. And you're going to be one of the honorees tonight. Tell us a little bit about your Howard experience and the legacy that Howard has instilled in you.
Coming to Howard from this little small town in Florida, I'd heard about Howard and what it meant to the black community. If you went to Howard, number one, you were somebody special. And if you were able to survive Howard, you were somebody super special. So the Howard mystique, if you will, was instilled in me the first time I had the opportunity to listen to a speech by Mordecai Jenkins, and got a chance to also read about some of the outstanding people who had attended Howard. So when you got there and you thought you were smart, I thought I was smart coming to Howard, being the valedictorian of my class, and then everybody you talked to was either valedictorian, salutatorian, and they were all smarter than you.
So tell us a little bit about what this honor means to you as opposed to some of the others that you've received over your years.
Well, when I look at those things that they've written down there, they said I have accomplished, and I say, of course, I'm a Howard man.
All right, that's right.
But I appreciate the honor, and most of all, I appreciate it, and I'm going to accept the honor on behalf of the 8 Howard University Freedom Riders. We had 8 people from Howard on the Freedom Ride, which represented the largest number from any single university of college. And then our civil rights organization called the Nonviolent Action Group, NAG, was the largest of any school in the nation during the sit-in demonstration. So true to Howard's tradition, you know, we had Thurgood Marshall and certainly the Howard Law School played an instrumental part in the Supreme Court decision of '54. So it was almost natural that if there's going to be somebody and a movement to change this country, Howard was going to be involved, and we were. And I am just very, very proud to have played a small part in that.
Well, I can tell you, I'm very excited. I'm honored to even be right here because I'm among greatness. I know that tonight, not just because of your accomplishments, but more than anything, you're a Howard man, and so am I. So once again, we got right here, Brother Hank Thomas, Howard University. B-Lane is bringing it to you.
Go Howard.
You already know.
Portia Bruner joined Fox 5 Atlanta as a general assignment reporter in July of 2003. Since then, she has covered a wide variety of breaking news and spot news, including extensive coverage of Metro Atlanta's gasoline shortage in 2008 and Georgia's historic flood of 2009, and Mr. Mark Hayes. Mr. Hayes joined Fox 5 Atlanta as Good Day Atlanta co-host in April 2002. Prior to that, Mark anchored Detroit's top-ranked 5 p.m. newscast at WXYZ TV. Mark's on-air career began in Albany, Georgia at WAOP TV.
So without further ado, we would like to introduce you to our honored guest. But there is one very special guest who is not in your program. And we want to start with her because she is a remarkable woman, and I have not had the opportunity to meet her. I'm looking forward to meeting her, and Mark is looking forward to introducing you to her.
Yeah, before I do that though, $13,000, that was a long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. You're talking about 5 years at Howard University. Not all of us were honors graduates. I was just honored to graduate. So we have this special recognition trip before you this evening. We have some royalty from the Mecca with us this evening, from the class of 1938. We have a certificate to present to the lovely Howard University graduate Addie Roebuck. She is 93 years young. Addie, would you like to say a few words?
I'm surprised.
Tell us about, what was your major? Tell us a little bit about you.
It'll take too long.
That was a legitimate answer.
Thank you very much for this.
Clearly, you are the celebrated family. You set the tone.
My oldest brother went to Howard the year I was born, 1918. And he graduated from medical school at Howard. And he taught in medical school.
Beside me, Brother Drew Watkins, Howard alum, 1998. just awarded here, honored. So how's it feel, man? I heard you talking up there. You're very humble, brother. About your experience, your legacy of Howard, what it's brought to you, what it means to you.
It's a special experience. Andrew Young kind of hit on it. Like, you know, things happen there. You know, it's tough to put into words. It's more than just education. You know, it's more than just the life experiences. It's a weird combination of the two that you can't get anywhere else. The friends that I made at Howard, I'm still very good friends with them. The experiences that I had with Howard still kind of, you know, propel me to this day. And it's a very unique thing. My brother actually went to Howard before me. He was the reason why I went, because I went and visited him. And I walked around the campus and I saw the city, and I applied to some other schools, but I was like, man, this is it. This is where I'm going. And it was just one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Reverend Wright, a Howard alum, right. Of course. We talked about which side he'd be best on, and we said it doesn't matter because we're Howard men. All our sides are good, right? That's right. So tell us tonight, you were honored tonight. Give us a little bit about the legacy of Howard and what it's meant to you and the honor that you received tonight.
It means everything to me, as I tried to say tonight. I mean, you feel like you're a part of something that's bigger than you. Right. And, you know, generationally, people have been committed to excellence, and now it's your turn. Right. And so I feel like we just have to extend it and enlarge the legacy. Yeah. Yeah, service, excellence in education, you know, making sure we reach down and reach out, reach up, all of that.
I'm here with Mr. Bruce Shropshire III. Yes. Tell us a little bit about the legacy that Howard has put on and has helped you in your life.
Well, you know, it's amazing, but after the war years, during World War II, you will find that most of us who wanted to go into a profession such as medicine, dentistry, and law, we had to go to Howard. Okay. If you're in medicine or dentistry, either have Howard or Meharry. Now that's just about the only choices that you had. You can understand that Howard has a great legacy among blacks and all other races too, because the fact that those that were not successful in getting into Howard, I mean other colleges that they wanted to go to, they were kind of helpful in such a way to get into Howard. So, is it true that did you meet your wife at Howard? You used to do what? Did you meet your wife at Howard University? You know, it's a funny thing about that. I didn't go back a long ways on it. Started when I came as a freshman in dental school. Looked like to me I was hooked from the go. Hooked from the go. So how long have you been married? I've been married. I'll be 62 years Thanksgiving. The lovely Dr. Miriam Shropshire, Howard University alum. You just honored here tonight in medicine. So, how do you feel about Howard and the legacy and the honor that you received tonight?
Well, I'm very proud of it. Yes. Really, I'm very proud of it. Being the first president of this group and being here tonight and see how it has grown. And see how much enthusiasm there is about Howard. Right. I chose Howard because I felt that's where I needed to go to develop myself as a young woman. Right. See, I was an only child, and just mom and dad. My daddy taught at Morehouse, chaired the department of sociology there. My mother was a school teacher. And I had lived a very sheltered life. Okay. Primarily going to seminars at Morehouse, concerts at Spelman, lectures. And I felt that I needed to develop some self-identification. We're right here with Miss Janice McKenzie-Crayton, here at Howard University Alumni Association's Charter Day, 145 years. And you were honored here tonight. Yes. You know, kind of tell us what that means to you and the legacy of Howard and what it's meant to you.
Well, I tell you that tonight was pretty special for me. In fact, it was very special for me. And so I would tell you that my time at Howard University really set me on a path in any number of directions. I met my husband at Howard University. I met lifelong friends at Howard University. I pledged sorority at Howard University. And I was thinking tonight about that legacy, and so much of who I am and the work I get to do every day, I think, is very much rooted in those subtle and not so subtle messages that you got from your instructors, from your professors, and from your friends and associates at Howard University. I've always remembered that Howard University is the capstone for it. It's something about Howard. They were so right when they said it's something about Howard that sticks with you, that sticks on you.
Now, I know I usually say I'm here, the B lane, but I don't even want to talk about that. I want to talk about this brother right here, Dr. Jelani Cobb. William, we got the same first name, by the way. Yeah. But we were at Howard together. Okay. And we experienced a protest.
That's right.
1989.
That's right.
Bro, you've been through a lot. You've at Rutgers, Spelman, African American Studies. You're writing books. But tell us a little bit about the legacy of Howard and what it's meant to you and being honored here tonight.
Well, Howard, without Howard, I don't know that I would have ever known that I could do any of the things that I've done. And so the ability to be in an institution where there are people who are invested in you, like the faculty there who take a personal interest in making sure they help you cultivate your talents, and that they see you as not just a student who's passed through, but as somebody who's going to be part of the legacy of this institution, and that's invaluable. I interact with those who came after me, and I know you're the same.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what it's all about. These relationships are forever. They're long-lasting. That's right. So we're going to keep them going. Right. All right. So once again, we want to thank you, brother. Thank you, Dr. Cobb. That is. But you're still Jelani to me. That's right. But, that's right. But still, this is a great individual, great person, great man. He's a Howard man, and we're glad he's here. Honored to be in the same area, in the same space with you, and all your accomplishments, and wish you much more success.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right. I have the pleasure of having beside me Victoria Ferguson and Tirsa Gravely, two of the coordinators of tonight.
Well, I'm Victoria Ferguson, and I am the vice president of the Howard Alumni Club here in Atlanta, and I'm one of the co-chairs of the event tonight. My other co-chair is Dana Stith. She's our president also. She unfortunately had to leave because due to a death in her family, but she sends her regards. And so I had the privilege of being, as I said, one of the co-chairs of the event, and it really has embodied the legacy of Howard University, what we did here this evening. And so what that means to me is passing the torch, always passing the baton to others, to those coming behind me, to those beside me, to the next generation, as Howard University has done for me. And to truly embody the motto of Howard University of being a leader for America and the global community, which is something I strive to do in the work that I do and in the person that I am. So that's what the legacy of Howard means to me.
My name is Tirsa Gravely, and tonight I sort of coordinated the honorees and served as their ambassador for the evening. And through the course of the committee work, I sort of oversaw the public relations that we had, publicity that we tried to do. So hopefully we were successful, and that contributed to the turnout that we had this evening.
Well, you got me here, remember?
Yes, I remember. I got you through a cold call, just calling a list of Howard alumni, and was able to get Bo involved in this. So really good initiative that we had in that. Yes. At least we were successful. One thing that Howard means to me, and the legacy that it is to me, is that Howard is an institution where people come from everywhere and we go away to everywhere. And it's just so refreshing to feel like I have a family throughout the world. Anywhere that I've been in the world, I have often run into someone who I recognize from Howard, like, excuse me, did you go to Howard? Or I meet someone who said that they went to Howard, and it's just so refreshing to have such a family all over the world, because that's really what it feels like. And I'm hoping that what we can do here in Atlanta is really bring our family together to a greater extent than what we have in the past few years, so that we can have a big family reunion here in Atlanta and bring Howard alumni together more often and to a greater extent.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Tirsa, for having me.
Two things real quick.
Oh, sure.
First, I just want to thank Tirsa. She was an outstanding subcommittee chair of our PR committee for this event. We would not have gotten the turnout that we got if it was not for her. So thank you for all of your hard work. And thank you so much, Bo, for being here and for doing this and archiving this event, because to capture it means so much too, that it won't only be, for tonight, it'll be more than a memory. We actually have it archived. So thank you so much.
Well,
so yeah, we all in this now.
Hey, we in it. I mean, and with that being said, I'm Bo Martin, the host and owner and founder of the B-Lane Network, right here at Howard University Alumni Association Awards Ceremony, 145 years Charter Day, and we're bringing it to you.